WhoNeedsMeta here. My camera is fucking up, so Eric's holding the camera right now. Say hi, Eric.
Hey.
Alright, so we're gonna do a video on MST and how to effectively use MST, mostly game 2 and 3. Right here, I have my gadget trap lineup, but I have, like, full board. Like, when you see, like, trap lineup, you know, this is pretty much all you're gonna see. You know, we don't have this guy anymore. No more of that, so you don't have to worry about stuff like that. And since everything has kind of been hit in our TCG, and we don't have heavy, obviously, they have to, like, use this and stuff like Dust Tornado to, like, kind of hit the right card and how to know what the right card is. So, first off, if you see any of these cards, this is the full board, this is the full back row, so you can kind of check your opponent's graveyard and see what they've gone through, what they haven't gone through, and you have to think, alright, so say, hypothetical situation, we want to summon red gadget and add yellow gadget. That is our play. That is the only thing that we have to do with this hand. So, we have to think, alright, what is going to stop us in terms of doing that play? And we have our 3 Fiendish and our 1 Solemn Warning. I'm not going to, you can kind of talk about these. I'll address a little bit of these later, but, like, I guess this can hurt, but, like, you can't really predict this. That's why I'm not a fan of hand traps being, like, I don't know, you can't really see them coming. It's, like, kind of like why I didn't like Magic, because instants, like, you can't predict instants. Every game has its own level of predictability. Pokemon has the most, because you can pretty much see everything, and all the way up to Magic, where you can't really see anything at all. So, we have a little bit of predictability in terms of, we have more so in the TCG than the OCG, because our trap lineup has been annihilated. So, if we want to go red gadget into yellow gadget, we have to worry about basically 4 cards. Provided, and then you have to think about the deck you're playing. Okay, a lot of decks are going to be playing Warning. How many decks are going to be playing Fiendish Chain, you know? Is it game 2 or 3? Those are the things you kind of have to look on, and whether or not you want to space or not. And if you think about it, you have 3 Fiendish Chains here, and you can chain this the MST, or chain the MST to the thing to get rid of it, and if they Warning a gadget, they paid 2,000 life points to stop basically this, and unless this is completely detrimental to your play, like, you have nothing unless you keep a gadget going, like, you have a gadget and 5 traps, you know, you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna want to go ahead and space their 1 card. Otherwise, kind of let it go and see what it is, because you could very easily be wasting your space on either another space or a bluff or something like that. Same thing, what goes with, like, game 2 and 3, the theory is, does your deck auto-lose to a certain cards? I kind of have 4 here that a lot of decks will auto-lose to, and if you think about what you're playing, like, if I'm playing, like, you know, this deck, Mermails, and I'm playing against, say, Constellars, I know my opponent will be siding in all 3 of these cards, because these are pretty much staples in their side deck, so I'm going to wait, because all these cards prevent me from doing anything. I really can't do anything with these cards, outside of maybe having a Direwolf or an Excidon and get kind of lucky. I have to have the MST for these cards. So you want to basically save what you're doing. So, and then you have to think, like, this is like the whole, like, this is everything. So if you see what they've gone through, you're perfectly fine. And then, how to play, I guess, around these, like, the only thing I can think of to play around these is, say you want to go with, you summon Tin Goldfish, you special your red, you add the yellow, you make, you know, a Gear X, and you detach, and you add this, and then they set everything, and they only have this, like, left in their hand, or, like, the two gadgets, and they set everything where they have 2 cards in hand. That way you know you're playing around no hand traps, because they have every card in their hand. They kind of predicted it. Another thing a lot of people like to do is space cards based on bend. For me, I've noticed that Ultras kind of bend this way more, depending on the set and stuff like that, and then, like, the older Supers will bend kind of the opposite way. They'll bend kind of backwards a little bit. This is like a Super Book or whatever. Then ultis, of course, everyone knows ultis are super, super flimsy, so you can kind of see, like, a little crinkle in the back if they're setting it. Another thing that people won't do is, I've seen a lot of people fail to, like, you see a lot of people hand shuffling or whatever, they'll fail to shuffle their hand after they add a card. I was playing at Regionals, and I was playing against Evil Swarms, I was playing Mermails, and my opponent added the Pandemic and didn't shuffle his hand, and I looked at it, and all I had to do was stare at where the Pandemic was in his hand, and he set 2, and I spaced the one that was Warning and not Pandemic, and I was able to get rid of Ophion because of it. So, you know, kind of like, shuffle your hand, pay attention to what they have, and you'll definitely have, like, kind of like the better plays. And also pay attention to how many chainables they have, because if you blind space, they only have one, they blind space it. Make sure they haven't gone through all their chainables that will actually hurt you, because if you have a Gear X with a material on it, and you blind space if you blind space a card, and they can just flip up that compulsion, get rid of your card, you kind of really just wasted a space, because you inherently went -1, and you already went -1 for the Gear X, even though you already added. So let me know what you guys think, how to play MST. I really hope this kind of helps you, card theory, I guess, helps you use the card more effectively, and thanks for watching, guys.